Alright, so here, we're going to be doing a different format. This is competitive draft for Dominaria instead of quick draft for Aether Revolt. The quick draft was a single limit, like a single game against an opponent to 7 wins or 3 losses. This puts you against an opponent in a best of 3 to 5 wins on the best of 3 or 2 losses. It's twice as expensive, though, with higher prize payout at the top. So, let's jump on in. Alright, Urza's Ruinous Blast. I've actually had less, this card work a lot less than I'd like in the format. A lot of the biggest threats in the format are legendary, so it doesn't exile as much as you'd like. Oh, thank you for the sub, Monkey Me. I think Seal Away is a good card, though, if we wanted to actually have white. Seal Away is a strong removal spell, has flash, so we can cast it at instant speed, and it just exiles a tapped creature. I think that's pretty far and away our best pick here. Legendary sorceries are also a pain. Yes, legendary sorcery can only be cast if you control a legend, like Heller here. Dude, they're oh God, they're one of my favorites. I like them a lot. They're quite good. Mostly because the green-red like kicker deck is one I like a lot. So yeah, let's go ahead and pick up Seal Away and see how things roll from here. Ooh, the Eldest Reborn is one of my favorite cards in this set. Just flat. Isn't it just having a historic? No. Legendary sorcery specifically asks for a legendary creature or planeswalker specifically. Not a wall, not an artifact, not a saga. But yeah, Eldest Reborn here. Each player sacrifices a creature on come in, each player discards a card, and then you can pick up a creature from any graveyard on turn 3. The sagas count up 1, 2, 3. And then, yeah. 1 on coming to play, 2 on your next turn, 3 on your turn following. So, this seems like a good place to be. Not a lot going on in this pack. Almost nothing in black that I'd want. Nothing in black or white that I'd want. Final Parting, Soul Salvage, and Invoke the Divine are just not really... Invoke the Divine is a card I want one of. But not a card I'd be willing to pick this early is sort of the problem. Blink of an Eye is a card I would be willing to pick this early. Fiery Intervention's a strong card. Nothing else in here. This is actually a pretty weak pack, I would say. We have a number of vanilla creatures. 1, 2, 3. An almost vanilla creature. And then just some, like, okay spells. So yeah, I think I'll pick up the Blink. I could pick up the Invoke to try and, like, get the AI to not pick up white, you know, as an idea. Sometimes you can do that, but this isn't a card that's high enough to get them to anyway. I'm going to pick up Blink of an Eye. That's a card I'm 100% willing to play. Okay, not much in here either in anything. Woodland Cemetery. Navigator's Compass is horrible. Maybe Feral Abomination just as a big creature. Tragic Poet, and we just Eldest Reborn loop. That's a horrible idea. I love it. Is competitive draft still bot drafted? Yes. You are drafting against AIs. You are playing against humans. How you feel about duels? Shrug. I don't feel like, you know, rare drafting isn't something that's huge. We do have 2 enchantments. How tragic is our poet? This seems really dumb. Let's go for it. I like Sergeant at Arms a lot. Fungal Plots is also a good card, so the green in here says a lot. Let's keep an eye on the green to see if that keeps going. Lich's Mastery is a silly card here, in that it says you can't lose the game. Whenever you gain life, draw the many cards. Whenever you lose life, exile a permanent card from your hand or a card from your graveyard. And then when this leaves play, you lose the game. But really, there's the Lance. The Lance here is one of the best pieces of equipment in the format. I've grown to like this one a lot. Oh, the Teferi, Chainers, Torment, Knight of Dominaria. Chainer's Torment is a hard card to evaluate. Makes a big creature, but is very easily answerable by, like, Blink of an Eye. A Knight of Dominaria is just a 2-drop that's nice to play. It has some problems against Saprolings, but is very good against a just a normal spot, you know, an opponent who misses their 2. Yeah, the scroll bar on cards. Let me go ahead with Knight of Dominaria. Alright, looking like white is still, like, open here, but black not as much. Let's pick up this cold water snapper. Bunch of 1-mana tricks that nobody wants. Alright. Hello! How you doing? So, Josu Vess, Lich Knight. 4 mana for a 4/5 with Menace, which is above the curve. Kicker 6 more for 10. And then, you get 8 2/2 Black Zombie Knights. Danitha is also a very strong creature. A lot of good keywords. A lot of good, like, making, like, Dub Jousting Lands cheaper. But I like the idea of Josu Vess. Not a lot in here either. Rats, Healing Grace, Shivan Fire. A common is missing. The Josu we can never kick. We might, who knows. God, is it worth it to admit that I might be an Esper? Maybe just rats? I don't like, or whisper, like, Whisper's okay with Sergeant at Arms. That's probably fine. I think I'm trying to talk myself into thinking that Whisper's good, and Whisper isn't, is the problem here. White not good this far. White is basically on the back of the Seal Away, and that's it. Pick up the Sphinx. Rona, huh? Could I be in blue-black and just splash Seal Away? Is that maybe a better plan? That might be a better plan. Rona's alright as card draw. And a way to get back things like Josu or Eldest Reborn. Which is a nice place to be. Let's go ahead and do that. More lands. Cabal Paladin. Fungal Infection. Divination's cool. Fungal Infection's cool. Cabal Paladin's okay. That's the 3rd duel we've seen go by. Garna's also strong, but I like Fungal Infection just for the reach out and poke. Gives us something to do early, which our current, like, if we are, so let's assume this. Maybe the Jousting Lance isn't in here either, but I'm gonna keep it like this. Fungal Infection does a lot. Relic Runner, Sphinx, another Cold Water Snapper, Blessing Bells Unlock, Jousting Lance, and white is just gone. So it looks like we've made the correct choice to move out of this color combo. What do we want? Relic Runner doesn't seem to fit what our deck does. Like, we aren't a very aggressive deck, though we do have a number of cards that would make it unblockable. More Sphinxes aren't bad, though. That'd probably be okay. Comrade Explorer, Thalat Soothsayer. I don't know if our deck fits Thalat Soothsayer, but I'll pick it up. Card number 2. Oh man, Shivan Fire, but there is a Syncopate in here, which is interaction I like. Yikes, that's some strong stuff though. Shivan Fire should not be like is the best red common, just flat. Might be the best common flat. 4th duel. Ooh, hey, a Skin Witch. I'm always happy to have a Skin Witch. Red and black look like the colors that are not being touched here. Windgrace Acolyte. Divest? I've had okay luck with Divest in this format, especially because right now I'm feeling a little light on removal and interaction, and that gives us a way to reach out and touch our opponent. Windgrace puts us a little too high end, and the Sphinx plays a similar role, though without the life gain on it. We just have too much at this top end for me to want more like the Windgrace. This deck feels light on good cards, so we'll get there. I do like Cabal Paladin. That's a nice one. What the hell was that noise? Why'd you make that noise, game? Alright. Antiquities War is just not a card for us. Antiquities War wants you to have a bunch of artifacts and then makes them into 5/5s. We have a Jousting Lance. The end. Oh, I thought that fireworks noise was from, like, when I opened the pack. I was like, what the heck? Not a lot in this. Candle? I think I might actually like the Candle. We do have a way to recur it with Rona. Yeah. I don't think there's a reason to pick Salvage. It's very highly likely that that card will come back around. I think I'll take some sort of cheap removal. I think I do want a little bit more, like, card... Ooh. Now that gives us a direction if I wanted it. But there's also Vicious Offering and Deep Freeze. So... Deep Freeze and Vicious Offering are both nice removal spells. Deep Freeze as an answer to effectively anything. Which gets a lot better when our deck is stronger with these Sphinxes. Vicious Offering is more of a little bit of literal interaction that works best if you have something to throw away. Like a token from Fungal Infection. Things like that. So I feel like Deep Freeze is the piece of removal I more like. It doesn't interact well with Eldest Reborn because I think the Offering will wheel. That's probably true. We've seen that black wheels with pretty high consistency. Let's go Deep Freeze for that reason to see what happens. Tetsuko, unblockability. Artificer, I love this bird. It's a really good bird. Stronghold Confessor is a nice creature. Just to have like a menacing threat. Gives us something like aggressive to put a clock on our opponent. I don't see anything else really. Like, Bird has a lot of ways to trigger and all, but I guess this Corsair hanging out here too. Karin's Temporal Sundering. I have 2 legends. Two legends, huh? It's that or like Joyra's Familiar here. Is playing a really, really hard to fit in Time Walk worth it? Splash Tatiova, that's also a reason. I do not know if this is going to work out. I'll take Opt. That's a decent filler. Druidic Vow. Arcanus gives us something early. Wow, that's the latest Llanowar Elves I think I've ever seen. There's that Soul Salvage. I think I will pick that up. And I do want the Diligent Excavator. Alright. So let's build this in the way I like to in this client. Oh, there's some cards above the cut. Okay. I'm gonna play the Excavator, Blink of an Eye, Deep Freeze, Sphinxes. I'm gonna put the Sundering in for now. Ah. So we have a lot of 1/3s early. I don't think dub fits this deck. If we were splashing white, it would be for seal away and seal away only. Our deck isn't very much a dub deck. What are those orange bars? Those are creatures and non-creatures. I can put in Opts. I can put in Cabal Paladin. I don't know how I feel about splashing. We don't have any way to search it. So, like, splashing Seal Away would just get us a Seal Away. Like, I'm thinking the Ops and, like, the Cabal Paladin. Lance as well. Oh, yeah. Lance is probably okay. We have enough threats that it works on. Opt is sort of filler and limited. Yeah, as you say, Calcium Strength. If I'm including Opt, that means I just don't have a 23rd card I like. I think I'm okay with that. So how's this winning? This deck seems to be winning with some of the, with, like, evasion late. We have less removal than I would like for a deck of this type. No Eviscerates, no, Vicious Offerings. Splashing the Seal Away would be a way of just trying to, like, admit that we don't have it. Yeah, Kicked Vest is the only win gun you need. That's true. That's pretty reasonable. Just get to 16 mana, really. Josu Vest, and then just Time Walk. It's super easy. I don't know why I didn't think about it. Thank you, though. Thanks for bringing that one up. Let's try this out. Alright, so we are playing a best of 3 against opponents, and we're playing to 2 losses. We will justifiably not include Blessing. Our deck is in no way a Blessing deck. We don't have enough legends for it, and we're not aggressive. Alright, I wonder how open these queues are. Am I going to be waiting a long time? Oh, our opponent playing it. I thought you meant lose to not having it in our deck. Do you get a sideboard? Yes. The draft was awkward? Yes, I agree as well. Yes, you do get a sideboard. That's the point of the best of 3. We don't have a lot of... A Cynical Grandpa. Close. Like, white wasn't there for 2 packs. It just wasn't. Like, demonstrably. This sucks on ice. Like, all we have is this freaking jerk. Ugh. Yeah, we ain't keeping that. Let us move to 6. We're playing a best of 3, so... Our opponent is on 6 as well. Wow, this is bad, but it's colors and spells. Okay, both on the 6, so that's fine. Fungal Infection should keep us alive to something like Knight of Nubenalia starts. Whew. Very poor. Best play for us would be they play the 3-1 haste. Alright. This is just where we are right now. Oofa. And our opponent's on 3 colors. Yeah, the draw 16 lands plan sounded pretty good to me. Arvad, alright. Let's get the snapper down, I suppose. Next turn I can play and use the candle. Thank goodness our opponent didn't have an aggressive start. We would not have a chance in hell if our opponent had curved in any meaningful way. So Coldwater Snapper is going to be a nice defense. They can come in with Arvad, I suppose. Why didn't you kill the Evangel with the Fungal? Because I feel that the Evangel is meaningless against the Snapper, and I want to hold this up against something that's more relevant, maybe some sort of evasive creature later. I don't think that I want to hold on to the resources I have, especially when our opponent still has 4. Oh goodness. That's fine. As I'm explaining the reasoning behind the play I made, I'm then shown why the play I made was very poor. That's good. I believe we call that, irony, is the wording on that. Anyway, let's, turn that off. Yeah, really, it's because I need to make this thing a little smaller. Yep. Hey, Bells and Lock. How you doing? Fiery Intervention, Windgrace Acolyte, Shivan Fire. I see. So this is an opponent I need to pressure, and I am not a pressure deck. Hoofa. So their late game is better than ours, and our early game is non-existent. This is a problem. Not playing the Arcanist so that I can have Candle plus Infection up. Uh-huh. Sure. All right. My hope here is that they play out the Windgrace Acolyte pre-combat, so I learn a little bit more about our opponent. That's it. That is my hope of hopes. Give me a little bit more information. Yes! Give me more intel. Okay. They are red, and I actually have some pretty decent creatures on 4 in red. Alright, so let's move along to game 2. That was a pretty obvious loss just based on our opening. We made our first play on 6. Get ready for game 2. Alright. So how do we want to change things? Can we change things? There's the timer up top. What do we even bring in? I don't know, rats? Like, literal piker? Like, if I feel like I have to run down my opponent, bring out the Arcanist, bring out, Scholar. Seal away for real removal? I could get behind that. Literally hero planes. Oh, I didn't submit it? Oh, okay. Now we're keeping the time lock. Alright. Nice. Well, this is not the aggressive lines I was hoping for. Oh, right, it's gonna ask me to make the mistake play. Do they have a 2? They do. Oh, wow. Oof. So yes, they indeed do have a 2. Okay, so they've got all their colors again. What can we do to get out from under this? Will they realize they should attack with a Death Bloom? Okay, good. They did not realize they should attack with that Death Bloom. Because they definitely should have attacked with that Death Bloom. Hopefully they'll chump with Death Bloom here. Okay, so here we might be able to get away with, like, Karn's Temporal Sundering for game. Let's get them to do a little bit more committing. Okay, so it's like nothing happened. What does Karn's Temporal Sundering do? Target player takes an extra turn. Return up to one target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Wow, they're holding back fully? Wow. That's poor for us. I really need that Stronghold Confessor to come in. They're being really defensive. How do we get out of this? See, it's its first strike damage there now. We do have a decent amount of threat given to us by, like, the Cabal Paladin. A card went into the void, which is this black hole over here. Alright, so let's go ahead and do Rona. Oh, that is beautiful. Give me the Eldest Reborn. That's very good. So if they sack their Stronghold Confessor, like, it only comes back as a 1/1. Okay, so they get to bring back either a Stronghold Confessor or probably the Deathloom Thallid. We might be able to just win from Cabal Paladin activations. This is on casting of historic spells. Yeah, please take some damage to that. Okay. God. So they've got Torgar, and Torgar lets them bring themselves back to 10. Oof. That's very poor. So they can bring themselves back to 10, they can set me to 10, but most importantly, they can bring themselves to 10. How are we winning? What's our win condition? Where do we win? Is it Rona activation? What would Rona activation have to draw us to get us? I know. I'm here. Rona activation would have to get us... We can't play the planes because it's cast cards, not play. I could try to recur Rona. Put Bells Unlock in front of that, please. So our opponent's going to go to 10. Like, they should Togar themselves to 10 life. Okay, we go to 4. They probably sack the sapling and then play their Togar and bring themselves to 10. Yeah, they're specifically trying to, like, not let me take specific creatures with the Eldest. So you have to target themselves, bring their life total back to 10. Alright, so Rona activation. Island goes into the hole. Swamp into the hole. Let's grab this Keldon Raider. Okay. Sphinx can block, but this tramples and they're holding a known removal spell. So they have us dead, like, flat. There is no winning from this position. They should just play the removal spell on Sphinx and attack for lethal. Yeah, we have this known removal spell, so play known removal spell, and then just attack with Bells and Wire. Okay. We did a pretty good job of attempting to make that game work, but oof, not a matchup I would care to repeat. There's a Twitch extension for that? Oh, that's neat. I was unaware that existed, Blingy. Blingly. Manosteel. Oh, this is dreadful. Alright, let's see what our opponent does have going on. Oh! Huh. Auras.deck, I see. Well, we got Blink, that's good. Well, we just need to draw an island. Oh, yeah, that's a strong play. We'll let you play that one. So, this angel gives them planeswalkers they control and other creatures they control hexproof. The hope is that they, you know, play on Sarah's wings there, but... Oh, goodness. This is some tragic draws. I feel like we have an okay matchup against an opponent who's heavily invested in auras. Gonna have an account wipe soon. Unknown when that's gonna happen. We know it's gonna happen, but we don't know, like, the exact win of it. So here's a cool thing about, shall I cannot target those. I was expecting a Gideon's Reproach, or something on that level. At least they don't have green for the activation. And that's nice. Okay, there's the Sarah's wings. That is something I wanted to happen. I do want to just draw an island to make this, like, function here. Alright. That does get rid of the Sarah's wings. If I didn't have to discard, I wouldn't have done that, but alas, we did have to discard. Now, if the best would be them going for dub. That's best case, I think, here, is them going for dub. We get a good 2-for-1 on that. Alright. Alright, deep freeze. We're operating okay. I've got my legends for Temporal Sundering when that comes up. Alright. I guess we're not doing that. Alright, let's syncopate here, as we can target that at that point. Maybe get Josu down next turn. Hopefully we draw an island. Problem is our opponent's at 28. Like, the way I want to win this is, like... We're at 5. I think we just die next turn regardless of my plays. Yeah. We die next turn to the known dub, so I'm going to see if they'll play a card that isn't named dub. Yeah. Irrelevant. If I had an attack, they just put it on Shalai. Alright. So that's that one. Looks like they have a trick. Alright, I don't think there's much to change. Again, the problem with our deck is that it's just very under the curve. I've got a lot of cards I'm okay with, but not a lot. I've got a lot of filler I'm not. I'm also very light on removal. Alright. With how many on Sarah's wings and things like that they have, I want the seal. Obviously, on Sarah's wings doesn't work in seal, but they do show dub, and seal away is something really, really good for us. Alright, is the O2 dream real? It's been some time since the O2 dream has been real, I guess, you know. And perhaps this is the point where it is. But perhaps not. Perhaps this is the point where we can actually move forward. Oh my god, I'm gonna be owned by every choice I make, aren't I? Yeah. Because of what our opponent's deck is, I want to keep the hand that has Blink of an Eye. Sorry, the bot's a little touchy at times. Okay. Happy about Divest. Let's see what we can see out of our opponent. Voltaic Servant. Thran Temporal Gateway. I think I'm going to strip away Urgos. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, Memorial of Folly. That lets them pick up their play. It was a pretty good way to let things finish up. There's that Temporal Gateway. It sucks, because this is just a deck where all I need to do is play cards on curve to stop my opponent, and I can't manage that. Like, that's all I would need to do is play cards on curve. Alright, 5th land. So they got 2 Memorials. That's 1/1s. That's Creature from the Yard. So I can pick up Urgos again. Don't have a way of dealing with Urgos, so that's actually a problem. Without Omnivore? Sure, that's fine. I want to draw another blue source so I can play the Snapper, would be my hope. What a dreadful card. Doesn't do anything. Maybe get Rona down? Are you on cast? So let's target ourselves. Mill with Excavator. Sadly, nothing for Rona to get back, but things for Soul Salvage. So that's good. 2 unknowns. I remember Frontier being something like a store that wanted to sell Jace Vryn's Prodigy. Like, that was it. That was the entirety of what I remember about it. I'm not gonna block this. Alright. I told you I wasn't blocking. Are they gonna double? Ooh, they might double... They might have drawn double fungal infection again, yeah. Alright. Yeah, the main problem here is that, like, the position I'm in feels like my opponent isn't doing enough to pressure me, but I'm not able to actually, like, do anything to stop that, you know? Alright, we have a way to pick up Josu. Let's... milling you is gonna be really bad. I'm gonna do it anyway. Dub, Arga, Baird. Alright. Six. They just flat passed. Hey! So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and sneak kill that Thalid Omnivore. Okay. We still have Blink of an Eye up. We get Cold Water Snapper soon. Ooh, that's a beautiful draw. So let's target you. And just crush on in. The problem with milling those cards away is that it isn't actually gone. They do have the memorial to pick up a creature, but... Ooh, Benelish Marshal. Alright. There we go. So let's get Josu in there. Okay, opponent to 6. I'm gonna hold up my Blink of an Eye and hold up my fungal infections. We might be able to kill them next turn. Final card, man? What do we got? Like, they have the Thran Gate, but it doesn't... Okay, Jousting Lance. Sure. Okay, I think we've got the game here. I should be able to... If they tap out for Jousting Lance equip, I should be able to Blink of an Eye. Okay. So they didn't tap out for it. The reason I'm not bouncing that there is because I want to bounce this end step so they can't replay it. We're going to go ahead and... kick Blink of an Eye on Banalish Marshall, I believe. It's not a historic card, so they can't put it back. Oh, it tapped on my black for some reason. Why? Auto tap, you're so dreadful. Not unblockable. They can use this memorial to turn it on. The reason I don't bounce Servant and jump on in is, again, this memorial. It can create 2 white soldier tokens, so I'm trying to get them to use it. I don't trust the auto tapper. I just hate how long it takes to manually tap spells. It seriously feels like an eternity. Alright. So Josu in, and they have to activate their land to make double blocking. So there's their 2 blockers. Yep. And then we get to play a Cold Water Snapper. Next turn we can play the Candle and kill something, and that should be enough to get me game. I think the best they can do is use Memorial to Folly, pick up a creature, and then, like, use the Thran Gateway to put it into play. Okay. We got there! The O2 Dream is dead! At least in games. The O2 Dream still might live as far as matches. It really sucks that it's been months and the auto tapper hasn't gotten any better and is in fact worse than most other Magic games that have ever existed. That's what kills me about it, is that it's worse than almost every other Magic game that exists. Alright. Let's make it happen. Final game, they are on the play. Let's see if we can make it around 3. Maybe we can Swiss Gambit this one. Oh, this looks fine. I like having Divest. I like having Drudge Sentinel. Yeah, see, what CRS Reverb says is correct. The auto tapper is in fact worse than what Chandelar has. Windgrace Acolytes and the Thran Temporal Gateway, and an Invoke the Divine. I guess I'm just gonna get rid of one of these Windgraces. I don't care about the Thran Temporal Gateway. This is good. They don't have a lot going on. I'm going to be able to play really crappy creatures on curve and get in for damage. That's nice. Okay. Let's get Tolarian Scholar down, and then we get Cabal Paladin the turn following. Cabal Paladin's nice because it's backed up by Rona. They have an instant that was on there. Probably one of their fungal infections. They have a lot of those, right? We've seen a lot of fungal infections. Let's just assume it's that. Ooh, Jousting Lance. No land? Jousting Lance, no land. Heck yeah. I feel... Alright, Cabal Paladin's gonna be nice. That's aggressive, 4 power. I can use Blink of an Eye to, like, bounce a blocker out of the way and push for damage if it's that hard. Skin Witch would be nice, too, just to dump their hand a little bit. Want to kick that Witch ASAP? Yeah, absolutely. Alright, let's get in there. So do they have a fungal infection here? They tend to have a lot of fungal infections. Okay, that's gonna resolve. Then we're gonna manually tap this to Blink of an Eye the token before it blocks. Perfect. We'll get to kick Skin Witch next turn. Do they have a second fungal infection? If they do, they can kill the Paladin on 2 for 1. God, they really like the fungal infections. Alright. What happens if a token bounces? It's gone. Alright, kicked Skin Witch. Let's get some cards out of their hand. Fourth land. Is that going to get them, like, Gateway? They must have drawn something they want a Gateway in, then. Alright, very happy about the Sphinx here, and that's going to be good. I don't think I like either of those. Syncopate maybe, but... Yeah, let's keep Syncopate. Problem is the Gateway sidesteps that, but they've shown enough cards that that's worth keeping. Yeah, auto tap is just bad. That's how it works. Okay, just flat eviscerate. Sure. Alright, so we have Syncopate up. I can Syncopate for 3. Is this going to be on Sarah's wings? Or maybe a +2/+2 dub? What is this? If they're trying to tap me out, it works. Huh. Alright, do they have a Thran to come in? Thran puts in. How big? How bad? Urgos, okay. I'm gonna play Rona. They're probably gonna equip that lance. Problem is their life total is not something they can, like, sit on forever. Like, I don't know how aggressive they can actually be here. Like, they're at 11, I'm swinging, they're swinging for 6, I'm swinging for 5. I would love to draw... Say, we discard a card. Yeah, we have a number of auto wins, like the time lock, you know. Okay. So we're going to hold the land, because I don't want Urgos to let them draw. This is 4 on activation, so they can't use it. What does undo? Aha! Okay. That's fine. All we have to do is draw an answer to Urgos and this game is over. So, yep, we discard our land. Seal away would be a pretty good answer, yes. That's what I'm hoping for. And a flyer. They might be able to kill me next turn. A historic card off the top would do it. What a meaningless draw. Alright, bring in this Drudge Sentinel. Yep, there's the 1/1s. We knew that was coming. What do we want to do here? If I make it indestructible, I won't be able to Rona activate, and that'd be bad. I think if I'm winning, I need to Rona activate and play Seal Away. To me, that seems to be my only real way to win this one. Okay, island goes in the hole. That's worthless. Okay. We're not done yet. Okay, I think I am done there. Like, I pick up Cloud Reader Sphinx, I play Cloud Reader Sphinx, I block. Again, this is part of my creatures, just not standing up to passing the bar here. Because I can play Soul Salvage, play Cloud Reader Sphinx, and then block Urgos, but Sarah Disciple kills me from one. Any ways that would get me out of this. I can't Thran off the top. No, I don't have 10 mana for that. If I had that, I would be able to. Believe that's just game. If they attack with only Urgos, I could possibly Rona into Seal Away to getting that out. But that's the only way I see, is if they somehow, yeah, and they're gonna tap all my black, will you? Yeah, that's too late. Well, it is what it is, and this is how the game of Magic tends to go. So you win some, you lose some. Oh my god! Infinite fungal infection. Oh, that's good. I think we did what we could with it. I think there were some different directions we could have gone in the draft. Clearly. But, let's take our pack. We can do more of this later. I've got enough gems to do some more of this. Not tonight, though, because it is late enough for me that I do not want to start another draft. I do keep these around, though, because I believe there is something to be learned even in an O2, you know? There's always some sort of takeaway you can find. A purpose in it, if you will. But yeah, I'm glad you were able to join me for this. We had both ends of the spectrum, the 7-2 victory and the 0-2 loss. Yeah, if you want to catch more Magic, if you want to see more things like this, you can always follow. Catch out when I go live. If you want to support the channel, just being here is great. Let people know that the channel's here, you know, that's cool. But you can always subscribe, you know. You get access to the cool skull. That's great. But I'm just happy you're here and having a good time. Thank you to everybody who's here. I'm glad that I see a lot of new names today. I hope you had some fun. Hope you enjoyed the drafts. So thank you, everybody. Have a good night.